1 million Canadians struggle with an eating disorder. They have the highest mortality rate of any mental illness, and this week, organizations across the country are working to raise awareness. Deborah Berlin, the executive director of Sheena's Place, joins me now. Deborah, great to talk to you this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, Ben.
Let's talk root causes of eating disorders. What do most people who have eating disorders have in common?
It's important for people to know that eating disorders are very complicated mental illnesses. They have biological genetic components. You need to look at a person's psychology, and then you really need to weigh in their environment.
For women aged 15 to 24, and these numbers are really something to sit with for a bit, the National Initiative for Eating Disorders reports that the mortality rate associated with anorexia nervosa is 12 times greater than all other causes of death combined. Talk to me about some of the misconceptions that continue to surround eating disorders.
Well, first and foremost, you can't always know when you're looking at someone that they have an eating disorder. We still live in a society that puts a lot of emphasis on weight. I think it's important for our audiences to know that every shape and size, every race, socioeconomic background, people struggle from all walks of life. And it's important for people to understand that you're not necessarily born with an eating disorder. They develop over time, and early intervention, especially in those first 3 years, are critical in order to prevent it from becoming a chronic, life-threatening illness.
And it's, you said from all walks of life. That also means boys can be susceptible as well as girls.
Absolutely. We know at Sheena's Place that the men we see, we would say that 25% of those who struggle with binge eating disorder are male, and the stigma in some ways is greater for men because it's still traditionally and historically seen as a female illness, and we know that that's not true.
Because society is constantly changing, we live in this era of showing everyone our lives and curating perfect versions of our lives on social media. Is there an added pressure, especially on young people today, to look as good as the pictures that they see online?
I think it's really important that we encourage people of all ages to take a step away from what they're seeing in terms of the images that are portrayed, be it on TV or on our phones, and to really preserve what's most important, which is this kind of direct interaction and communication.
Well, we talk a lot about reducing the stigma around mental health. Or especially around Bell Let's Talk Day. The stigma around eating disorders is still pretty prevalent. It's hard to crack. Why do you think that is?
I think we in our society have become much better and more comfortable talking about depression and anxiety, but eating disorders are still hugely misunderstood. I think a lot of people don't know how to ask questions or talk to people. People believe that it's a diet that's gone bad, or that it's an exercise in vanity. So what we do at Sheena's Place is encourage people to continue the conversation. Even if you don't know exactly what to say to someone you think is struggling, you can be there for them, ask how you can help, and then do some education and create some self-awareness for yourself by looking at different pieces of literature and checking out the website at sheenasplace.org.
We only have a few seconds left, but we know that anorexia and bulimia are two of the most prevalent eating disorders. Are there any, and really we only have a few moments, any tips that you can have in terms of detecting it? If I suspect that someone who's close to me has one of these disorders, what should I be looking for?
What you want to really look at is someone's mood, how they're feeling in general. If they've gone from being a very active, engaging person to all of a sudden withdrawing, similar to how people present with eating disorders, but again, not eating, overeating. We encourage people, try not to focus on the behavior. Grab your person and say, hey, can we talk together?
Deborah, great advice. Thank you for sharing all this information today.
Thanks for having me, Ben.
And if you know someone who is struggling with an eating disorder, you can call the National Eating Disorder Helpline at 1-866-633-4220.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.